If you want to identify and transform your limiting beliefs that are holding you back, then I've got a really cool model for you. And it's an acronym PICLR, which will allow you to, again, identify and transform the beliefs that are limiting you. Our beliefs govern everything that we feel, everything that we do. And so it's a real good idea if you're having issues with your relationships, with your finances, with your business, with your coaching practice, or any other area of your life, check in what beliefs are driving my responses, my emotions, and my behaviors in this area, because those might be some of the limiting ones to transform. So PICLR, first is the preparation. You need to prepare yourself for belief change, which means, first of all, taking ownership over your limiting beliefs. You want to identify the limiting beliefs. It's just like noticing weeds in a garden. Which ones do I want to pull? C is you want to choose a replacement. You don't just pull a weed and leave an empty hole. If you were to do that, then it would be very likely the new weed would grow in its place. And so you want to choose a replacement. Which plant, if my inner world was a garden, would I want to replace this weed with? It's a pretty important step to choose the replacement, and you want to make sure you don't just use the power of positive thinking, but you actually want to make sure that you are choosing a belief that's useful, it's resourceful, but also accurate for you, something that is true for you, but a better replacement than the old one. That will make it a lot more likely that when you replace it, that it will take root in that spot, and you won't have to use your willpower to constantly ingrain it in, ingrain it in, ingrain it in. That's PIC. L is to loosen up that weed. So now you've chosen you see the weed, you've chosen the replacement, what you're going to put it in a place. Now you want to loosen it up. And a powerful question you can use to loosen up your limiting beliefs is just to ask yourself, does this belief serve me? Does this belief serve me? Whether or not it's true is not what's most important. The question is, does it serve you? Because there's multiple truths that you can replace in that hole that's going to be left when you pull it out. So it's not a question of whether or not the belief is true or not. The question is, does this belief serve me? If it's a belief in your head, of course you think it's true. That's literally the definition of a belief, is a thought that you believe is true. So if it's, regardless of whether or not it's true, to loosen up, the question is, does this serve me? If the answer is no, you've done a good job of loosening it up. And the last step is just to replace it. If you've done good work on the PICL part of preparing yourself and your inner environment, you've identified a real weed that you want to get rid of that does not serve you. You've chosen a replacement that fits great in that hole. It's accurate and also resourceful for you. And you realize you've loosened it up, saying that does not serve me. Then the replacement part is actually real easy. You just put that new belief in, and it's more likely to take root because you've done a good job on those first steps. So I hope you found this model valuable, PICLR. I've got a whole course coming up next week. It's a live event. It comes with recordings if you're not able to make it live, that covers this whole model in depth over a 3-hour program. It comes with a 10 to 15 page resource document where you have the availability to ask your questions, to get some more insights, and to study it on your own. If you have any questions about this model, feel free to ask them here. If you want to go deeper and to really get the full in-depth overview, that's going to be much more experiential. So this was kind of informational and a general overview. If you want to get a more experiential experience, that's what that course is going to be all about. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, leave them around this video. Check out the course. It's at perceptionacademy.com/event. perceptionacademy.com/event. It should be the first event on the top about identifying and transforming your limiting beliefs with ease. And I hope to see you at the course. Feel free, of course, at any time to reach out with any questions or comments. I hope you found this video valuable, and go out in the world and apply this. If your inner world was a garden, what would that garden look like? Would it be flourishing? Would it be not so good? Would it be doing really, really well, but there's a couple of weeds that you would want to tend to? I think that a garden is a great metaphor for our own inner world, and I wish from this day forward that you can start to take ownership over your garden and tend to it as you please rather than letting it go out of control, that you can be the person who's in charge of the gardening. You go in there, you prune some leaves every once in a while, and now it becomes a beautiful landscape that you've created just for yourself. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you in a future video, in the comments section, and perhaps in a future course.